Hello my friends, it's Danny and I am making an easy roasted vegetable frittata. Now this recipe is perfect for spring. It would be a beautiful addition to an Easter brunch menu or to a Mother's Day menu, and it's also perfect for meal prep because you can make it ahead of time and it is delicious hot, cold, or room temperature and will happily last in your fridge for up to 5 days. Now this recipe was inspired by one of my all-time favorites, Ina Garten. She is the queen of the classics and I often look to her for inspiration, and then I'll take her base recipe and just give it a little clean and delicious twist. So the first thing we need to do is roast up our vegetables. So I've got my oven preheating to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and into a nice big bowl, I'm adding 1 chopped red onion, 2 bell peppers, 1 orange and 1 red. You could certainly use both of the same colors, but the 2 colors definitely make for a more beautiful dish. Then I've got a large zucchini that I've quartered and then chopped up as well. Get that all in the bowl along with 2 cloves of crushed garlic, a tablespoon of avocado oil, and then a nice pinch of kosher salt and some black pepper. I'm just gonna gently toss all of this together. Really, you just wanna make sure that all the veggies have a nice light coating of the oil and the spices. Now you could easily switch the veggies up for this recipe depending on what you have on hand or on what you love, but the end game is to have 3 cups of cooked vegetables ready for the frittata, which means you're gonna need 5 to 6 cups of raw vegetables. This would also be a great place to use any type of leftover cooked veggies that you might have in the fridge. I'll transfer my vegetables onto a rimmed baking sheet, spread them out a bit, and then I'll pop this into the oven for 30 minutes, flipping the vegetables halfway through. Now you'll know your veggies are done and ready to go because they'll have a nice little golden color on the edges and they'll be nice and tender. So from here, I'm just gonna let them cool down a bit while we assemble the rest of the frittata. And FYI, if you were making this for some type of event or gathering, you could certainly do this step a day or 2 ahead of time to save time on the day that you are actually going to assemble the frittata. So here in a nice big bowl, I have 1 dozen eggs cracked and ready to go. Now, if you can, I do recommend looking for pastured eggs. Basically, these chickens are allowed to wander free and enjoy a natural diet opposed to a grain-fed diet. And the result of that is number 1, a beautiful bright orange yolk. Number 2, really great flavor. And 3, more nutritional value. Next, I've got a 1/4 cup of whole milk, and then a pinch of salt and some black pepper. Now the fat from the milk is gonna help to keep this frittata nice and light and creamy, but you certainly can use any type of milk that you have on hand or whatever you prefer. Once my veggies have cooled down a bit and they're closer to room temperature, I'm gonna add them to the egg mixture, give them a gentle stir, get everything mixed really well, and then transfer this into a 9 by 13 baking dish that I've greased with some butter. You could also use coconut oil or a little bit of cooking spray. Now, side note, if you wanted to, you could also make this frittata in a saute pan, like a 12-inch saute pan, or even in a muffin tray. You would just have to adjust the cooking time a bit. Then I love to just finish this off by dotting some creamy goat cheese over the top and a sprinkle of fresh sliced scallions. And then one more tip for those of you who do not eat cheese, you could sub in some sliced Kalamata olives here. They're also very rich and buttery and they'll give you that same decadent experience. Then I'm just gonna pop the whole thing in the oven somewhere between 20 and 30 minutes. The time is gonna vary depending on your oven. You just wanna keep an eye on it. What we're looking for is for the eggs to puff up a bit and for the frittata to be set in the center. Once my frittata has cooled down, I like to go ahead and just slice it into squares. If I were serving this at a brunch, I would just bring the whole tray over to the table and let people serve themselves. If you were doing this for meal prep, you could go ahead and pop them right out and put them in an airtight container and then store them right in the fridge until you were ready to enjoy them. Now, if I were gonna enjoy this as a light lunch or dinner, I love serving it alongside a very simple arugula salad. And if I wanted to turn it into a whole meal for, say, a brunch, then I would serve it with the arugula salad, my apple chicken sausage, and my lemon blueberry oatmeal muffin cups. And all of those recipes, I will of course link for you down in the description box as well. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think of this recipe. Remember to come on down to the comments below and let me know. And don't forget to snap a picture and tag me on Instagram and on Facebook so I can see all the clean and deliciousness you're whipping up in your very own kitchens. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Danny Spees and I'll see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers! Inspired by one of my all-time favorites, Ina Garten. She's my favorite, but I have no idea how to say her name. But that's okay, because y'all don't know how to say mine either, because everybody always calls me Danny Spies, as if you never hear me say it on video. It's Spies, people. Spies. Gardener. Garden. Gardening. Garden.